Hello everyone, I'm Nini FC and this is Blue Lines TV, and today I'm bringing you guys another transfer news daily video. And in this video today I'm going to be talking about MIRALEM PJANIC links, I'm going to be talking about Michy, and I'm going to be talking about Mason Mount and Van Ginkel. But you guys, you know what the deal is. Before I get straight in the video, smash that like button, really smash that like button, help me get more than 500 likes for today's video, and press the bell notification button as well. I think you guys can just recite it yourself, so make sure you guys just press that button. But starting with the first story of today, and that's about that main man, MIRALEM PJANIC. Now these links have kind of come out from nowhere. It seems like the source of where these links originated from came from Luciano Moggi himself. You guys might be thinking, that name does ring a bell. Who is that guy? Well, he was the ex-director of football at Juventus, and he was there from the 90s till the mid-2000s. Of course, he's actually left. You guys probably know why. He's been banned from football. Actually, I'll tell you why. It's because of the match-fixing scandal that happened around that time. That was when Juventus got relegated. That was when Milan would dock points, etc, etc. And literally, all Moggi tweeted was, Pjanic, Sarri, and Chelsea. That was literally all he did. He made sure he put a hashtag on it as well. And this is where the links came from. Of course, there are other things as well he's been stating. For example, Juventus wanting Cancelo. Obviously, Cancelo won't be going to Inter Milan. They can't afford him. Juventus needs some depth at right back as well. Now, of course, I mean, you could make the logical conclusion that with this guy being the ex-director of Juventus, all the connects and contacts and agents and players he knows, I'm sure he's going to know a bit more than other people. And you know what? Maybe he does, but with how football works and the industry it is, things constantly change every single time. What you know as a fact on one day might not be the same thing 1 week from now. But anyway, that's where the links first started to come from. After that, the Italian press got on the story. Alfred Padula, the guy that's always reporting on with what's happening with the Sarri situation, he had some news to say as well. Corriere dello Sport had some news as well to state, and I'm going to tell you guys what they were talking about. Now, every report is stating that Juventus would want 70 million if they were to sell Pjanic, and I'm going to touch on as to why they've set this price. They both state that Barcelona and Chelsea are interested in his services, and I'm going to talk about Barcelona for just a second. Now, we know that Iniesta has left and he has made the move to the Japanese league, and in a way, Barca are, as the press is stating, looking for that replacement for Iniesta. In my opinion, I thought that replacement was Coutinho, so I wouldn't understand why they need another replacement for him. But he has been a player that has been constantly linked with Barcelona. And what the reports are stating is that because Barcelona have missed out on Griezmann, they have turned their attentions to MIRALEM PJANIC. But reports have come out today stating that it looks like Barcelona are close to securing Arthur of Gremio. Now, Barca have been linked with Gremio for a very long time. Since January, they have been very close to securing his services as well. It looks like it's going to be the natural conclusion to the Arthur saga, and to be honest, that looks like he's going to be the Xavi replacement. So again, I can't really see why Barcelona would be looking at MIRALEM PJANIC. I think maybe at the time, of course, they were looking into the possibility of bringing him to the new camp, but since then they've just turned their attentions to other targets. Now, you might be thinking, but why are the press linking them with Barcelona? Well, what I think some of these guys in the media do is that, well, yeah, of course, everyone's heard that Barca are looking at MIRALEM PJANIC, and they're thinking that, well, of course, because this story has been reported on a while back, technically, we aren't wrong if we do say Barcelona are interested in him. It's that grey area where, in a way, it's not really a lie, but at the same time, it's not necessarily the full truth. So currently, it's looking like Barcelona are going to be out of the race for MIRALEM PJANIC. Now, reports are stating that we're looking to provide competition to Cesc Fabregas, and this is why we're interested in trying to sign MIRALEM PJANIC. Now, as I said earlier, Juventus have slapped on a £70 million fee for MIRALEM PJANIC, but this is where there's more context to the story. Now, of course, I think a lot of you guys already pondered upon this already, but currently Pjanic is on 4.5 million euros a year. He wants a new contract. Allegedly, Juventus have given him 6 to 7 million euros a year. He's not necessarily happy with that. He does want more, and this is how you piece together how this story is looking like. It seems like obviously Pjanic just wants that contract extension. He wants the best possible offer, and he's looking to apply pressure on Juventus. Now, this is the part where I give my thoughts and opinions on the story. Now, here's how I'm seeing things. And to be honest, I do think I've got pretty good context in regards to how stuff works in football. I'm seeing it like this. Of course, Pjanic and his agent are looking to apply pressure on the Juve boards, but I do think it's very interesting that Pjanic's price has been put out on the market. And how I'm seeing it is that, well, Juventus aren't going to let Pjanic get whatever he wants. Maybe they might improve their offer a tiny bit, but I think they're making a statement that, well, if you're not going to be happy with any offer we do give you, you can leave. You can leave. Your price is £70 million. You know that we want to try and sign Milinkovic-Savic. If you do get sold, we've got a replacement for you straight away. Now, you guys, I'm going to elaborate on my theory a bit more. And is it really a surprise that Michy was the one to release this story? Now, here's how I'm seeing things. Would it really be something crazy if Michy knew Pjanic's agent? And maybe, of course, they've discussed the situation. They know, well, Juventus don't want to give more on the offer. My client isn't happy with 6-7 million. Do you mind, obviously, leaking out the story on social media? Because once you do that, he has about nearly 60,000 people following him. Of course, he was a massive figure in Italian football as well. Is it going to be a surprise if this story starts to circulate? Again, that's just a theory that I have in place, so don't take it as facts. But being hypothetical, you know, does it make sense that Chelsea would want Pjanic? And in a way, again, Pjanic fits that mold of midfield player that we're looking to bring into the club. Of course, guys like Seri, guys like Jorginho, and obviously Pjanic play a very similar role where they do dictate the game, masters from set-piece situations as well. They're players that can easily have more than 1,500 passes a season, and he fits that type of model and bill that Chelsea would want in midfield. Again, in a midfield three, especially in a Sarri ball system, he needs that type of midfield player in his team. It's vital, it's pivotal, but let's be serious, 70 million for Pjanic. I think Pjanic is a good player. Again, it's just my opinion, doesn't mean that I'm saying it's fact. You guys are entitled to your own opinion. I've always thought that Pjanic is a good player, but I've never seen him as being as amazing as how he's made out to be. I mean, would Juventus really bother as much if they replaced him with Milinkovic-Savic? I'm not quite too sure. Did Pjanic really replace Pogba? Is Pogba forgotten about at Juventus? I'm not quite too sure either. Is £70 million worth it? I don't think it's worth it when someone like Seri is available on the market. But you guys, I don't think there's any personal interest from Chelsea in Pjanic just yet. I haven't heard anything from anyone in regards to that story either. It's definitely going to be very interesting. But you guys, in the comment section below, let me know your thoughts and opinions. Would you be happy to see us trying to bring Pjanic to the club? Do you think Pjanic is a fantastic player? Do you think he's a bit overrated? Let me hear your thoughts and opinions in the comment section below. Now, for the second story I want to talk about, that's in regards to Michy Batshuayi, and it's coming out from press in Germany, and actually it's come out from Dortmund's director, that it looks like Dortmund will be turning their attentions away from Michy Batshuayi. The director of football from Dortmund did state that, well, he has nothing to say on Michy today, tomorrow, or the day after. They will be instead turning their attentions to mystery striker X, which isn't going to be Michy Batshuayi. Now, one target that they are reportedly close to signing is Moussa Dembele of Celtic. His price has gone down a lot. He's only worth around 25 million, and in a way it does make quite a lot of sense. Of course, it seems like Dortmund are really put off the price tag that Chelsea did put on Michy Batshuayi, but when Chelsea are putting that price tag on Michy, they're not caring about Dortmund, they're caring about other clubs that could potentially be interested in Michy. It's a bit of a shame. Michy was doing very well there. Is he going to have a big future at Chelsea? Everything is going to be essential when it comes down to pre-season. When Sarri does take over, that's when we're really going to understand who's going to be staying and who's going to be leaving. It makes sense that Dortmund would be targeting Moussa Dembele. From a stylistic point of view, these guys are very, very similar. I think with Dembele, I think maybe he's a bit better at holding the ball up compared to someone like Michy, but at the same time, again, they're fox in the box players. They score all their goals inside the 18-yard box. It's all about movement into space, etc, etc. That's what they're good at, and of course Dembele would complement Dortmund's game. Still, Nini, what's going to be happening with Michy? We were talking about Chelsea looking to sell him. As I was saying earlier, other clubs might be interested, they might pursue, or maybe it might force Chelsea to reduce the fee they want for Michy Batshuayi. Still, you guys, when it does come to Chelsea, if one thing's guaranteed is the club always get the price for the player that they want. It happens every single time, so it wouldn't be a surprise if it happens again with Michy Batshuayi. Still, me personally, if he was to stay on, I'd be happy with that. Of course, we've been linked with strikers such as, Icardi's, for example. Stylistically, I feel they're very similar. They play the same type of role. I think that Michy is someone that could definitely excel in a Sarri's system. I think, if you look at how Higuain did very well, Higuain is another similar type of player where he attacks the spaces, scores all his goals inside the 18-yard box, and got a constant supply of support and chances being created for him as well. I know that Michy complements a Sarri style of football. I don't really think it's the end of the world if he does stay. I think he deserves another chance, especially as he's shown people his qualities. And his qualities are, this guy is a top-class finisher. And in a Sarri system, that's what we need the strikers to have out of everything. They need to be great at finishing moves. And moving on to the final story of the day, and that's about PSV Eindhoven. And reports are coming out that they're planning on making a double raid for Chelsea players, and those two players are Van Ginkel and Mason Mount. Now, there's been quite a lot of change at PSV so far. Philippe Cocu has left and he's gone to Fenerbahce. Van Bommel has taken over the place of Philippe Cocu. There's a new technical director in charge as well, John de Jong, and he's replaced Brand that has signed for Everton. And a certain Frank Arneson has returned back to PSV and he has taken a technical role behind the scenes at the club. And reports from Holland are stating that they're hoping to use Frank Arneson's connections with Chelsea to try and sign Van Ginkel and to bring Mason Mount on loan from Chelsea. Now, when it comes to Van Ginkel, it was believed before that PSV wouldn't be able to afford Van Ginkel. But with Champions League money, who knows, maybe players being sold as well. Van Ginkel is the club captain. That must mean a lot if a club like PSV is going to make a lone player the captain of the club. So there's a massive possibility that he could be signing for them on a permanent. When I hear some more information on it, you guys, of course, you will hear it here first on Blue Lions TV. But I think the most interesting one is Mason Mount. Would it be wise for Chelsea to loan Mount to PSV? Well, again, you guys, as I keep stressing a lot, we're not going to know the full features of players until they've had a pre-season under Sarri. Of course, that's going to be taking place on the 2nd of July, where players that aren't part of the World Cup will be returning back for training. So they'll have an opportunity and chance to show Sarri what they're about. And maybe he might decide to keep some of these guys as well. But I think if Mount went on loan to PSV, yes, I know that he's done well in the Eredivisie, but I don't necessarily think it's the worst thing to happen. Let's not forget, PSV are going to be in the Champions League. You might be thinking, but Nini, where would he play? Obviously, Lozano plays on the right-hand side, and they have another top-class young Dutch player called Bergwijn. I'm not quite too sure. You guys know I'll ruin everyone's name. And he plays on the left-hand side. So, would Mount replace him? Who knows? I personally think that PSV would look to use him in midfield, or possibly he could just replace Bergwijn out wide on the left. I mean, he was one of the top performing players in the Eredivisie with the goals he scored and the assists he created as well. Getting Champions League experience and of course playing with a better team technically and with better players around him as well. Him performing better at PSV compared to Vitesse is only going to do better for his name. Still, I would like to see Mason Mount staying at the club. I think that's going to come down to Sarri though. And ideally for me, I want Mason Mount to go to a club that's going to be competing in Europe, specifically the Champions League. And I think if he can get this at PSV, I think it could make a lot of sense. So I mean, let's be serious. Him spending another year on loan at PSV. He's 19 now. The end of next season, he'll be 20 years old. Is it really that deep if he spends another year in the Eredivisie? Personally, I don't think so. And I think maybe this would make a lot more sense for the long-term future of his career. Because that way, it's not as if he's starting over again. He understands the league, he understands his opponents as well. It's an easier transition, especially when he's still a teenager. But anyway, you guys, that's going to end today's video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Remember, smash that like button. Help me get more than 500 likes for today's video. And press the bell notification button as well. Say it with me, to stay notified to all things Blue Lions TV. You guys, thank you for watching. Tomorrow I am going to be releasing a Q&A live stream tomorrow at 10 PM. So do stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching. I'm Nini FC. This is Blue Lions TV. Signing out.